I'm recording. And I have no people to let it.
All right. 7 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order and say the pledges. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
All right, attendance appointment of alternates, the alternate is not here and Gerald is missing, so we're good to go. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
I make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second it. Discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. Number 5, approval of minutes from Board of Finance meeting October 18th, 2023.
I'll make a motion to approve the Board of Finance regular meeting minutes from October 18th of 2023.
Have a second?
Second.
All right, motion to approve minutes as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public participation. Yes, ma'am.
Sarah Muska, 25 Maple Avenue. I wasn't able to make it last month and I wasn't aware that Geraldine wasn't going to be here, but I just wanted to, I'll talk to her privately, but I just wanted to publicly thank her for her many years of service and dedication to the town of East Windsor. I had the pleasure of serving on this board with some of you and her, and she'll be missed, and I just wanted her to know her service has been appreciated. So, thank you.
Thank you.
I'll tell her to
Anybody
watch the recording.
Move on, communications, I obviously don't have none.
I have none.
Alrighty. Move on to monthly reports, Miss Amy.
Everything's going good. We are collected at 57%, 58%.
Yeah, almost 50.
We're gonna be a little short in ECS, the equalized cost sharing, because I budgeted part of the alliance money, because that's what came from the state, and I found out too late to change it in this budget. But it's, I think last year was $178,000 that we were short. But we'll more than make it up in revenue sharing. We got $282,000, which was not budgeted. And then our motor vehicle tax reimbursement really offsets the taxes that she can't collect. So it's captured up there by itself with, against no budget. Current tax collection is 58%. Everything else is over budget just about. We're $60,000 over in prior, and we are just shy of the 100,000 in interest and liens already 4 months in. I don't think there's any other revenue stories to tell you. Oh, I got $316,000 of interest already. So I've blown away my budget. I have not made up the 1.2 million that we spent to cover the budget though.
You have a question? Pete?
I did. Is it early enough or is it late enough in the year relative to interest rates for you to be able to forecast where we will be from a revenue perspective in the next fiscal year? Or is it too soon for that?
I mean, obviously during budget, we would talk about it and adjust it up like we did last year, just not realizing it was gonna be so crazy. And unfortunately, no, if they start cutting rates, then our rates drop just as faster
Yeah.
than anybody else's, so
So too soon to tell.
really, you never know, but I would adjust it up again next year. Because I think we only went to 150 this year, but we went from like 25 to 100 and then up to 150, not realizing that it would be so high so long. And obviously, the more we spend down of the money that's sitting there, then the less we'll have to invest.
Thank you.
So that is revenue. Does anybody have any questions on revenue? Expenditures, we got nothing except the few transfers I'm asking for. Evictions and injections, we don't have enough money to cover the cost of storage for 15 days for somebody that's evicted or ejected out of their place. So I'm asking for money for that. The supervisors is just their merit portion of their contract. We do not budget it in each line. We budget in the non-negotiated because we don't know what that number is while we're doing the budget. That's a closer to July 1st information. And so that's a request I'm asking for. And the EDC is going to accept an award. So they're going to some kind of conference. And they didn't have a dues and fees line, so I'm reclassing it from professional services to dues and fees to cover them to be able to go and accept that award.
Which happened already.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that was in October.
But they had no budget in dues and fees. But they had money in professional services. And that's it, I think things are going pretty well.
No, nothing stuck out to me when I looked over. Anybody else have any comments, no questions? No. Okay.
And then CNR, we have lots of money sitting out there, but it's all allocated except the unallocated. Everything else is spent. Or spoken for.
Yeah. Then I'll finish the town side, we'll look at the Board of Education side.
So similar news here on the board side of things. I think everything's coming along nicely. Currently I'm working on projections to be able to present projections in December for the current fiscal year. And then we're working on budgeting for the new fiscal year. So I think we're in much better shape than we were last year and
Next fiscal year.
what's that? Next fiscal year. Oh, I'm sorry, what did I say? Sorry, next fiscal 25.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just plugging along and everything seems good at the moment. Want to have any specific questions as far as the current budget goes?
I looked things over, I didn't have any at this point. Anybody else?
Nope.
Thank you much. Next up will be our 23-24 transfers. And Amy spoke briefly on them. We are in here somewhere.
The last page.
Yep, last page. It's a lot of the beat tonight. Do I have a motion for transfer request number 14?
Can we do it all at one or?
Yeah, I can go with one. You can just,
The various accounts.
All right, I make a motion for transfer 14 from various accounts to all the town positions for merit raises.
yes. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Discussion?
So that's the total is the 7,767.
Yeah, it's coming from non-negotiated wages and it's going to all those lines.
Any other questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Transfer request number 15 for social services, do I have a motion.
I'll make a motion to transfer $1,000 from our contingency to evictions and injections to cover the expenses for costs related to our evictions and ejections.
Second,
I'll second.
quick question. So this is just for storage items, it's not for paying for the.
Right. It's storing their items. There's a law that says we have to store them for 15 days
Okay.
for somebody. So the cost of the storage places.
Any further discussion?
And this is one of those people that we've been putting up for months.
Nope.
Oh, this
Different
is
group of
eviction?
people.
Okay,
So the general assistance is where we put the people up. And we're all done with that. I didn't come for a request because we don't have any right now. And we're not current landlords for anybody.
Good.
Currently.
good thing.
Wait till Friday.
I know, I was just gonna say that. I'm not so sure that we just had 2 house fires, so
Yeah,
I'm not sure what's going on with that, but
yeah.
Well, no, we had East Road in August-ish,
Oh, yeah.
and Skinner Road was Saturday.
Alrighty, all those in favor of transfer request number 15 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. And no motion for transfer request number 16 for the EDC.
I'll make a motion to transfer $160 from professional services to dues and fees to cover the cost of a conference.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? What kind of work do you do?
Who is this?
What kind of work?
EDC,
EDC?
Yeah.
It's the Economic Development Commission. They haven't, oh, what kind of award did we get? I'm sorry, I have a cold, I can't hear all that well. We got a silver certification from the Connecticut Economic Development Association. Which is basically a designation or a recognition of processes and policies that we put in place to streamline and incentivize economic development. It was a lot of work, and it was over about probably a year and a half and a full lift from the full department to do it. There were 16 towns that were recognized, and we were one of, it's a statewide organization.
Nice.
The plaque is going to be hanging up, it's not already, it's going to be hanging up in the planning department.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, I believe next is reconciliations.
Town side is good through October and interfunds are in balance.
We're getting to October, we're through September right now, we're a little short staffed right now, so we are making a plan to catch up on that, but we will be fully reconciled.
Thank you. Board of Selectmen updates, referrals? Anything?
Not really. Community center bid opening is tomorrow. That's kind of the big focal point right now.
Very good. Patrick, where did
As far as just some positive things, this past Friday, as everyone's aware, was Veterans Day. It's been recently longstanding practice in the schools that our students attend on Veterans Day. All schools were involved in activities to honor our veterans, highlighted by our high school, which had over 20 plus local veterans from within the community in our high school, providing a really small group instruction as far as their experiences, and then that was followed by a whole school assembly honoring the day. So certainly we appreciate that community of school connection. We also had 20 plus students from the school cross country team participate in the road race. First quarter just ended, so we'll be transitioning into the second quarter, also into winter sports. The high school also announced that the theater production for April is going to be Snoopy. So if anyone that attended Cinderella, we're very excited about this production, and we're anticipating it'll be just as good or even better. And currently this evening, we have the State Connecticut Education Teacher of the Year ceremony. So we have Michelle Wiley, first grade teacher at Broadbrook, proudly represented the district and the school in Broadbrook tonight, which ended about 7 p.m. Today. So all good things.
Thank you. We'll move on to new business, and that is the 2024 meeting dates. They're on the back page here. I'll flip over and look at the back side. I believe I don't have one. Quick. The only date I know I will not be at the meeting will be September 18th for myself, but the rest of them I am good with. Anybody else have any?
I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, so.
These are comparable dates to last year or this year.
Normally for me, I would have a conflict on the 21st of August, or the third meeting in August, third Wednesday of August, sorry. And the third Wednesday of September, but the way the calendar falls next year, August will not be a conflict for me, but September 18th will be. So, but someone else can take my spot that night. So if there's no major conflicts, do we have a motion to approve the 2024 regular meeting dates for the Board of Finance?
Well, I will mention, I don't have plans, but April 15th to the 19th, I think, is April vacation. So I don't know if any of us parents or grandparents or what, that just, again, I don't necessarily have a plan at this point, but we can always revisit that when we get closer.
Very good. So
I make a motion to approve 2024 meeting dates.
I'll make a second.
any further discussion, which we haven't discussed? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We have no unfinished business that I'm aware of.
Nope.
Board member comments.
Before I start, can I ask a question that you guys can all answer in board member comments?
Sure.
So we are by this point, or by the 1st of December, we really should have the budget letter out. But there's change in membership on the Board of Selectmen, there's change in membership on the Board of Finance. And your next meeting isn't until about a week after the budget should be turned in. So it would be helpful conversationally if you were to share what your perspectives are in terms of what were the budget targets or budget directions to departments should be for the new fiscal.
On the budget letter, you're talking the budget letter that goes to the department. heads.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, you start.
Of course.
I'll get it for the people that are against it. They're the ones in trouble.
Uno reverse, no. I don't, I think it's real, I mean, obviously, I don't feel like much has changed since last year in terms of. Where we are from a financial, position, so I mean, I think probably similar to how you proposed it last year, I think is smart. If we, end up feeling like we've got more, then I think no, but. It's kind of how I'm feeling.
Yeah, I think it's better just to kind of, continue with how we did it last year. It seemed like, I know there was some pains, if you will, but I think we seem to get through it, and it seems to make the most sense. Given just how I think the community feels as a whole.
I like to stay and say 2% or in that general area. I mean, not much more. I mean, we always shoot for that anyway, I think, but it'd be nice if we could keep it within that range.
Guess I'd have to concur with Tom on that particular point.
And I'm just saying, I mean, I think our department heads understand the town of East Windsor, our budget situation very well, and they've worked very well with our budget, but obviously, if there's something that's desperately needed, it needs to be discussed, but if we can keep with the, like I said, that 2% range is where our charter says we need to be, or can be, have to be, not really have to be, and can go to vote if it fails 3 times, it ends up at 2%, but if there's something that needs to be done, it definitely needs to be discussed and we can put in the budget, so.
Very helpful.
And because our meeting is so late, we're gonna do annual report. I'm gonna send it out to you when we get a draft. Because we're not, their conference, CCM's conference isn't until November 28th. So they won't work on our report till after then. So the earliest you guys will see it will be the beginning of December.
Do we need to move our meeting up, or are we okay?
I don't think so, because I don't think you guys formally have to approve it.
Okay.
I think last time a bunch of people just sent me comments.
Yes, yeah. Look it over, send you
Yep.
the comments.
I guess the only other thing I'd want to add is to encourage voters in town to attend either the Board of Selectmen or the Board of Finance budget meetings. Because a lot of those aren't very well attended. And then later we hear comments that people aren't happy with the way the budget turned out. And it'd be better if we heard it at the time of the budget hearings, I think. I don't know how you get people to come out, but if there's a way to encourage it a little bit more forcefully.
This may be a silly question, a silly thought, and I don't, obviously, I love and I hate social media, but like, when it comes to budget meetings I know we put it on like our page, like, is there a way to like, I don't know, could we do like an invite people? Like, I don't know, I really want to get more people here and I don't know how else to do it, because I feel like we're doing everything else, so, I don't know. Just an idea.
Yeah, I mean, it is, a big thing, and it just seems like we don't have a lot of participation, but again, sometimes I feel a lot of people don't follow what goes on until it comes time to a referendum vote, and it's like, well, why is it this way? But,
Yeah.
Can't change condition levels, I guess. Anything else? All right. Next meeting is December 20th, 2023. 5 days before Christmas. Calendar fall is kind of funny this year.
And. Yeah,
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries, we are adjourned.